Welcome to the McKinney-Vento Homeless Education Training. The McKinney-Vento law states that a student who lacks a fixed, regular, or adequate nighttime residence may be homeless. Ask yourself, can the student go to the same place every night to sleep in a safe, sufficient space? This is not fixed. This is a camper. It can be moved at any time. It is not fixed. Shelters are not regular. Shelters are for a very short period of time, and many times families are broken up where the male members of the family are not allowed to stay with the female members. Adequate. This is not an adequate living situation. If there's not running water, electricity, or heat, this is not an adequate situation. Also consider the safety of a student. These are the ones that are easy to identify. They're sleeping all night long in a hotel, in a campground, or in the all-night laundromat or Walmart. These are easy to identify. Not so easy to identify are the migratory students or the children who are awaiting foster care placement. Migratory students have a very mobile lifestyle. They also many times do not have living situations that would meet the adequate qualifications. If a student is awaiting foster care placement, he is homeless until the judge makes the final determination the student is homeless. These are the most difficult to identify. The students who are living on a couch of a friend's house one night, moves to another friend's house the next night. He may be staying with grandparents, may be going to other family members, or anyone who will take him in. He's couch surfing. This student is homeless. If you have any further questions, feel free to contact myself. Now I would like to introduce to you the homeless liaison in Gillespie, Illinois. Her name is Joni Payne. I'd like to ask you, what are some of the responsibilities that you as the homeless liaison do?
I'm responsible for identifying the students, for making sure to provide the paperwork needed for their free lunch, to see if they need any school supplies. I also have to contact other school districts when we maybe have a student that I know homeless is going to want to go to school in that district, or if they're coming from that district.
Okay, great. What if a student or a parent does not tell you that they are homeless? How do you identify them?
Usually the ones that are easiest for us to identify are the new students, because when they come in we have a set list of questions that we ask. So the answers to one of those questions about the proof of residence, usually we'll throw it off. Sometimes the parents will just tell us, oh, he just moved in, or we just moved in, and so we can tell by our conversations. This year we did add something to the registration packet to help get those students that have currently been in our district, where we ask them about their situation as far as their living situation, and we've gotten a few more from that.
Thank you. Are high schoolers any more difficult to identify than the elementary students?
I think they are, because they really don't want people to know that. And I don't ever use the term homeless. I try to use McKinney-Vento Act, or explain that there's an act for their situation, their living situation, but they usually don't. Sometimes they'll be like, oh yes, and they're always very appreciative of the help, but they're not going to come and say that usually.
Okay. Once you've identified a student as McKinney-Vento eligible, what do you do for the student?
I do make sure that they're getting free lunch, free breakfast. I talk to them about their school supplies, if they need school supplies, and try to provide some of that. I try to check in to see if there's something else they need. I don't typically tell the teachers, but if I know something happens, then I try to make sure that they have materials they needed. Like we have one homeless student that's in the welding program where they need some extra supply, so I try to take care of that with the ag teacher.
Great. It sounds to me like you've done a wonderful job. Do you have any success stories you'd like to share with us?
There are a couple. One is a young girl who she was truly in a homeless shelter in the St. Louis area, came back, a family took her in. She was told several times that she should just get her GED because she did have a baby, and she's like, no, I want to get my diploma. So she worked. She was actually 20 when she graduated, but she then, after graduation, went on to community college, and I believe that she is still attending.
Fantastic.
And then we have another young man where his mother moved when he was a freshman, left him. He just found people to live with. He would use his Social Security to help out those people. And he is now, this is his second year at SIU Carbondale. He's had internships, he's made straight A's. He did have a lot of help. Our ag teacher was a great help to him as far as kind of like a mentor, but he's just done fabulous.
Those are the stories that make it all worth it.
They are.
Thank you. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to contact myself or Joni Payne at the Gillespie High School. Thank you.